The little boy was sleeping during class, but he was suddenly awakened when a girl hit him with a piece of chalk. However, upon waking, the boy discovered he was trapped in another child's body. It turned out that the soul inside the boy's body had been swapped. The person now in the body was actually a Go master from thousands of years ago, later known as the Sage of Go, and his appearance here might be related to his tomb having been unearthed. The girl angrily walked up to the boy, and when the Sage of Go saw the girl's face, he thought she was an old acquaintance, and even commented on her strange attire. Unexpectedly, the girl grabbed the Sage of Go and dragged him outside. She scolded her brother, not only for not studying but also for being lazy and neglecting his chores. It turned out that this girl was the sister of the body he occupied. Only then did the Sage of Go realize he had arrived in a world 1,000 years later. The girl threw a rag at her brother, forcing him to clean up. At that moment, a group of parents entered, shouting for refunds. The girl stepped forward and asked one of the parents why they wanted to withdraw from the school. The parents said that other Go clubs were studying more advanced strategies, and that the current Sage of Go was a master from another country. The girl insisted that Go was only truly authentic in their own country. Even if the Sage of Go now hailed from another nation, that was merely a temporary situation. However, another parent retorted, saying the foreign sage had set up a challenging endgame position, and that no one had been able to solve it to date. Their Go clubs claimed to be experts, but they were still crushed by the foreign sage. It made them feel humiliated. The girl's junior fellow student said the endgame had taken the opponent a long time to set up, so it was understandable they couldn't solve it. But the parents refused to believe it, claiming their Go skills were inferior to those of other countries, and that they shouldn't be running classes, or they would be wasting their students' time. They also demanded refunds from the Go club. The girl wanted to argue back when her father appeared in a wheelchair. He admitted that Go in their country had indeed declined, and that they needed to acknowledge the strengths of others. He even told the girl to refund all the upset parents. Meanwhile, inside the Go club, everyone was discussing the endgame left by the foreign sage, but after repeatedly studying it, they still couldn't determine the next move, so a few of them had to leave. At that moment, the Sage of Go, who was cleaning, walked over to the screen to take a look. He felt the endgame wasn't that difficult to solve, so he walked straight to the computer, grabbed the mouse somewhat awkwardly, and confidently made his move. He quickly solved the so-called difficult endgame, then he left. Meanwhile, the Go Association received the news. Officials traced the login IP that solved the endgame to the Lin Family Go Club. Everyone excitedly prepared to welcome the director of the Lin Family Go Club. However, at that moment, another group arrived at the Lin Family Go Club. They were the heads of the Liu Family Go Club, a brother and sister, and they immediately boasted they would defeat the girl's father. Seeing their arrogance, the people around began to whisper. It turned out they too had adopted the foreign Go strategies, so they came today to challenge the club. The girl wanted to ask them to leave, but the man said if the old master didn't accept the challenge today, he would bring people to smash up the place. Helplessly, the girl's father had to appear and declare he would not accept the challenge, but the man then said if he didn't accept, they would have to sign an agreement to forfeit Go tournaments and disperse everyone so they wouldn't embarrass themselves again. Angered, the girl said she could stand in for her father because the Lin Family Go Club could not lose. The man quickly set the match rules. Each side would field 2 players in a tag team battle until one side was defeated. After the girl understood the rules, she told the man to begin the match. The first match was between the girl and the man's sister. The Sage of Go asked the person next to him about the opponent's strength. His junior said since the man's sister hadn't played in competitions, her rank was unknown, and they could only judge based on the match. The girl picked up the stones, ready to decide who goes first, but the opponent said she would give the girl 2 extra stones. Seeing such confidence, the girl no longer underestimated her. The match officially began. Both sides made move and counter move. Soon, the man's sister confidently started her opening. Although the girl could see the opponent's tactics, she couldn't counter them. But the spectators all believed the girl would win. The Sage of Go shook his head, saying the girl was sure to lose this round. He not only analyzed the position, but also pointed out where the opponent would defeat the girl. As soon as he finished speaking, the opponent placed her stone exactly there, just as the Sage of Go had said. The girl was completely defeated. The crowd thought it was just a lucky guess, but the Sage of Go said they needed more training despite their experience. The girl was forced off the stage and admitted her defeat to her father. Her father comforted her, saying losing wasn't shameful. One must have the courage to face failure. Then the girl's father continued on to the stage. stage to play the man's sister. Fortunately, the old man's experience was rich, and he quickly defeated her. But the woman said beating her didn't mean much. Her brother's skill far surpassed that of the old man, so their club had no chance of winning. As she had said, when the game reached the mid-game, the man used a secret technique that the foreign sage had used years ago to defeat the old man. To this day, the old man still couldn't counter it. He anxiously wiped his sweat, trying to find a flaw on the board. But the man not only insulted him, he said the old man didn't deserve to teach disciples here. He suggested they close up early and forfeit their tournament qualifications. The girl's father, overwhelmed by anger, fainted in his seat. The girl suppressed her grief and had her fellow disciples carry her father to the hospital. She prepared to continue the match herself, but she knew she was bound to lose. Suddenly, the sage of Go, who was the boy, spoke up beside her. He said he would take over the rest of the game. Just as everyone was laughing that the boy knew nothing about Go, the boy confidently sat down in the chair. The man mocked him, saying he couldn't see the position, and claimed he had already won. But the boy said there was no game he couldn't salvage. He then picked up a stone and placed it on the board. In an instant, the position changed.